Now, for the balance of the hour, I've been really wanting to get him on for a while because he's been such a popular guest on the show. Dr. Peter Glidden is an outspoken advocate of holistic health. He has lectured to thousands of people over 2 decades, and he delivers over 60 lectures each year as a regular speaker at Health Freedom Expo and longevity regional meetings. He's been all over national TV, you name it, and, of course, been a frequent guest here, drglidden.com. And we'll also give you some of his other websites coming up. And he works with us as an advisor for InfoWarsHealth.com and InfoWarsTeam.com, which is a full line of longevity products. So, spoiler alert, about 80% of this talk you're going to hear is going to be cutting-edge health news and information. But I haven't even hardly plugged the last 2 hours. We need to do some mid-air refueling. You need to get the best wide-spectrum nutrient vitamin systems, over 400 products. They're all incredible. I use probably 8 or 9 of them routinely, and boy, do I miss it when I don't. If you want to really support the Liberty Movement, but also get high-quality organic nutrients and vitamins like Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, the Alex Pack, the Healthy Start Pack, the Pollen Burst 2.0 that I'm proudly a big sponsor of. My face is on the mug. All of it, EFA Plus, Selenium, all of it. You can go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsHealth.com. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to Peter Glidden, Dr. Peter Glidden, to cover the waterfront with him today. We're going to talk about why does it seem people are getting sicker and sicker, suffering from more and more chronic illnesses? What are some of the reasons we need to educate ourselves and others about different ways to handle disease in the body? Why is this so? What is the philosophy of MDs, and why don't they believe that the body can fix itself in many cases? Why are MDs taught that they are the only ones who can manage conditions? Because it's an imperial priesthood, and it's run by the big drug companies, folks. We'll talk about big pharma, how they're brainwashing us, and more. But also we'll talk about the new book that I've read, and my dad has read. It's amazing. It's revolutionary. We sell it at InfoWarsStore.com. Epigenetics. The death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. And we're going to talk about that with Dr. Peter Glidden as well. So, Doc, thank you for coming on, and thanks for your great support of InfoWarsHealth.com and InfoWarsTeam.com. I know of the whole organization, you are, the strongest overall, generator of new folks coming to the site and working with us. And so without you, many of our new projects wouldn't be successful right now. So thank you so much for your help, not just in revolution of health, but also in helping get the overall news out.
Alex, it's always a pleasure to be here. You're welcome. Like Benjamin Franklin said, my cousin, by the way, Benjamin Franklin, unless we hang together, most assuredly we will hang alone.
That's right. Absolutely. We're going to break here in a few minutes, but first off here today, what are you planning to cover?
Well, everybody in this country is sick, and we're not getting better. We're getting worse. Our health is deteriorating. Every single solitary month, things are getting worse. The leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, medical bills. The leading cause of death, MD-directed medical treatments. Something is going on here, and Dr. Wallach and I are the only ones talking about it. The best place to hide something, of course, is in plain sight. So I'm going to pull back the curtains on what's going on here in the medical arena and really get into some very specific things people can do right now, today, to make a gigantic difference in their overall health. Because as God is my witness, Alex, people are suffering needlessly.
Well, and you're not just saying that. Look at every metric. They admit that hospitals are the #1 killer in the country now. And then down the line, the drugs, the drug interactions, all of it. I know so many family members, so many people that go in to have minor surgery and are dead. I mean, just dead all around me. Death, death, death. Drug-resistant stuff pouring across. The borders wide open. This is crazy town.
It is crazy town, and it's not the gun, it's how it's used, right? Well, guess what? It's not the drug, it's how it's used. I'm not against drugs. I can prescribe drugs, for goodness sake, but there's a way to use pharmaceutical medicines which is effective and supportive, and there's a way to use pharmaceutical medicines which is destructive. And most people in the United States have no earthly idea that their medical doctors, bless their hearts, Your MD may be the nicest person God ever created, a humanitarian, a really great person, but they don't know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in. And what they've been trained in, as it turns out, is just one small piece of the pie of medical science. And when people understand how MDs are trained to think about the relationship between the human body and disease, everything will change when people understand how the MDs think and how they operate. And, you know, quite frankly, that there are, in fact, science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery developed and delivered.
Just stay there, Dr. Glidden. This is powerful stuff coming up. Health is so fundamental. We are under a eugenics, Rockefeller medicine-based system. You've heard medical doctors on this show, famous brain surgeons, neurologists, people like Blaylock saying the exact same thing. Now you see total state-run hospitals. The VA's the model. Telling veterans just go die in a ditch. Oh, yeah, you're all going to get, you know, health care now. It's just going to be horrible quality care. Dr. Peter Glidden is our guest breaking this down right now. And if you're watching him on television, you can see his website right up there on screen. And I want him to describe what that free doctor book is all about, because that sounds very interesting. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to really consciously think about this each day, that if we, by increments, because none of us are perfect, really start trying to drink more water, get healthy, take the right vitamins and minerals, eat the fresh food, that it'll change our lives. And it's a process, but people can see the process in my life. Incredibly stressful job, incredibly stressful life, long hours, but I look a lot better than I looked a few years ago, and it's a process. But none of it's going to happen overnight. There's his book, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. And again, we'll give you that website, putting Glidden back up on screen via video Skype. If you're a listener, you can go to InfoWars.com/show to find the free video feeds that accompany the radio show right now. FreeDoctorBook.com. Tell us about that, Doc, and then let's get into the big bombshell info.
Well, knowledge is power, Alex. I mean, look around. Everybody's sick. Everybody's suffering. Everybody's getting worse. Everybody's taking prescription medications. I mean, you know, I'm 56. I didn't know anybody when I was a kid that had Alzheimer's. I didn't know anybody that had autism. Alzheimer's has risen from obscurity to become the 6th leading cause of death. 1 out of 89 children now are born autistic. Arthritis is skyrocketing. High blood pressure is skyrocketing.
Medical doctors that went through in the 50s and 60s have said on this show that they would have to get on airplanes to fly to see a child with cancer. It was so rare. Now they're just kids everywhere dying all around me.
And the reason that this is happening is not because of, you know, excessive radiation and pollution in the world. There are factors that have to do with this. But the reason that most people are sick and suffering is because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. I mean, for goodness sake, if you had heaven forbid, if you had a bullet in your arm, you would not go to a chiropractor to have that removed, because that's not their wheelhouse. It's not the wheelhouse of the chiropractor to do surgery, right? Well, as it turns out, your MD is the wrong person to go to if you're suffering with a chronic disease. The wheelhouse of the MD is trauma care, surgery when it's absolutely necessary, and a handful of infectious diseases. That's their wheelhouse. That's what they excel in. And in a perfect world, it would be illegal for them to do anything else, because when they bring their philosophy of medicine to bear on a human body with a chronic disease, they miss the point completely. And this is why we're sick and suffering, because the MDs, bless their hearts. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are MDs. Your father's an MD. There's room in the world for the MD, but not when it comes to chronic disease, for goodness sake. We're dying at record rates. I mean, not even dying, just suffering, right? Can't even play 18 holes of golf anymore because people, you know, their knees can't handle it. People can't fall asleep at night without a sedative. Chronic heartburn, chronic just low-grade stuff that's whittling away.
It's because they don't have the trace elements. It's because they don't have the trace elements, right?
Well, this is the thing. Our position is that when it comes to chronic disease, there's education that people need to know. And all chronic disease can be traced back to nutrient deficiencies, especially minerals. Nutrient deficiencies, especially minerals. But the sad fact of the matter is, it is impossible to get all of the body's nutrient needs met just by eating food. You can't do it. It's impossible. So unless and until you are supplementing your diet with a good, high-quality medical nutrition program, it is only a matter of time until you run out of something, and then something breaks, and then your only option, because of Obamacare, is to go to an MD who hasn't been trained in how to fix it. They've just been trained in how to manage it, and this is why everybody's dying.
That's one of the biggest factors. I agree with you, and it's scary that the U.S. leads the world in breast cancer, in diabetes. I mean, we're not being negative here. We're being very positive to admit the problems. Long 18-minute segment coming up. I'm going to try to give you the floor for most of it to really lay out some of the basic truths that are revolutionary, and then get into some of the breaking news. I want to talk about epigenetics. I know you're really into that as well. I find that to be so exciting, and more mainline science is saying this is where it's at. We'll be right back with Dr. Peter Glidden. Ukraine says they will present evidence of Russian military involvement in the Malaysian shootdown. Perfect that it was a third-party outside nation, not even part of Europe. Perfectly selected to demonize Russia. Why would Russia shoot down a Malaysian airliner? This is meant to stop Russia from going up against the Ukrainian NATO Air Force that is now bombing targets on and over their border. And regardless of which side you're on, I'm not on either. Everybody should be concerned about this because it's escalating very, very quickly. It is the season of escalation, isn't it? And now is the time to get prepared, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's so important that everybody get high-quality, non-GMO, extremely affordable, storable foods from MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. Right there on that area of the site, you'll find their best discounts on 4-week food supplies in the plastic tote containers. This is the best way to transport it and save it. And it's a lot of it's what you call, I guess, freeze-dried, so it lasts a lot longer. It's higher quality, isn't as heavy as cans. 3-month supply, 450 servings. Give them a call, 866-229-0927. You're crazy if you don't have high-quality, storable food. And the place that I get mine is MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. Separately, InfoWar.com, made right here in America by veterans, super high quality, level 3 at the lowest price you're going to find because it's not ceramic. And you can go check out all their great body armor. Get it while you still can. InfoWarBodyArmor.com or 888-608-6605. And they're just fabulous folks as well. And we're running specials throughout the month of July on all the Made in America apparel, pro-gun apparel, you name it, at made-in-1776.com, the subsection of InfoWarsStore.com. And I'm kind of plugging a lot of stuff this hour because I didn't really do it in the first 2 hours. We sell high-quality products, promote high-quality, life-changing products, liberty-promoting products here, and then fund our operation the good old-fashioned way. We earn the money to do it. It's very expensive, even living in Texas. That's why we're located here, because it's cheaper in other parts of the country. We couldn't do this in New York or California or other really expensive areas. And Austin's getting more and more expensive, but we run an operation that reaches 20 million people a week one way or another on all the different platforms, and we do it for about $8 million a year. And that sounds like a lot of money. It's not when you talk about media. Okay, I mean, the local paper cost tens upon millions to run a year and loses money and is one of the least unprofitable ones in the country. They talk about the Statesman as a model of success because some of its divisions make money. I mean, we reach conservatively, Infowars.com on Alexa 20, 30, 40 times more than that paper does. And it's a paper that serves millions. I mean, that's just an example. Go look at the ratings online. It's just the bang for the buck. Most talk show hosts would have a radio show as big of mine. They have about 3 employees, a website that posted a few articles every day, and we'd have some T-shirts and mugs we sold, and I would just have radio advertising, and I would make all that money for myself. And I would have a private jet, and I'd have a giant mansion. I'm not into that stuff. I mean, I like a car. You know, Ford truck runs good. Got a Charger as well I've had for 6 years. I got 2 cars, and I dress okay. I mean, but that's not my goal in life, is not to just make money. I want to have freedom. I want to defeat the globalists. So I've taken the money that a talk show host at this level would be making, and I put it into expanding media operations and reporters and researchers and bigger servers and magazines and films and news websites and nightly news. And by the grace of God, it is really having a giant effect. I want to find the lever that moves the world. I want to affect fundamental change. I want to really stop the globalists and the progressives. And we're doing that thanks to you. So pray for us, support our local AM and FM affiliates, spread the word about them, become a local sponsor, call their sponsors and thank them. Just like I had Joel Gilbert on last hour. I have no interest in his film. And I'm saying go watch his movie. Go make sure it becomes a big hit, because then it will have an effect. Support us financially. We don't take money at gunpoint like the IRS does and give it to NPR or MSNBC, as I say. Shop with the good guys, free will, get high-quality products at InfoWarsLife.com, at InfoWarsHealth.com, at InfoWarsTeam.com to be a distributor, InfoWarsTeam.com. This is how you fund us. This is how it's done. There's a lot of new products out from Longevity, Immortalium, and so many others, which is breaking research. I want to get into some of the stuff they're discovering about DNA and more with Dr. Glidden, who joins us right now. Dr. Glidden, you've got the floor for the next 14 minutes or so. Break down the big picture for folks.
The greatest. Well, here's the big picture, folks. It is impossible for your body to optimize its structure and function without 90 essential nutrients. There are 90 essential nutrients that your body needs. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. The sad fact of the matter here, however, is that even if you owned 100 acres of organic farmland and had the best organic food in the world and only ate your stuff, you would still be deficient in nutrients, because the nutrients that your body needs are not present in the food. They're not there. They are not all there. So unless you are supplementing with effective, efficient, absorbable nutritional supplements appropriate for your body weight, it's only a matter of time until something breaks. Now look, the information that I've gleaned and that Dr. Wallach has gleaned from 20, 30, 40 years of clinical experience as licensed naturopathic physicians is unique. And this information is so important for people to understand. I'm giving it away. I wrote a book, Alex referenced, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. I'm giving it away. When you get my book, you will be able to understand what to do, the simple steps you can take, which longevity nutritional supplements are best for you, which nutritional supplements are best for you, which foods are good, which foods are bad, because you're not taught this in school. You're not taught it. The best way to get out from underneath the death grip of the medical insurance companies and the pharmaceutical industry is to get your body so healthy that you don't need to use them, unless, of course, you have some type of, heaven forbid, traumatic accident to the body. So that's why I put this website together, freedoctorbook.com. Just go there. You'll get my book for free. It's free because you need knowledge. For instance, did you know that heartburn is associated with not enough calcium and not enough salt? Did you know that restless legs at night in bed is associated with not enough calcium, not enough magnesium? Did you know that high blood pressure is associated with not enough calcium and magnesium? Did you know that selenium supplementation, selenium, a simple mineral, cheaper than dirt because it's made from dirt, selenium supplementation at 200 micrograms a day, which is a tiny amount, reduces breast cancer occurrence by 82%. It also reduces prostate cancer occurrence by 69%, colon cancer by 64%, and lung cancer by 39%, even if you're a smoker. You know, why don't the Susan G. Komen women know this? Because they don't want you to know this. It is not the medical industry's job to keep you healthy. And as God is my witness, thank God for Novocaine. Thank God for the sterile technique and the mattress suture. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. You've been duped by 100 years of pharmaceutical propaganda, making you believe that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process. It is not. Surgery is a complicated process. And thank God for the surgeons who do it. But healing is easy. Our fundamental position, give your body the nutrients that it needs to fix itself. Stop eating food that's gumming up the works. Get out of the way and let the healing begin. You would not believe the things that I've seen people recover from with science-based, clinically verified medical
I know. I've seen people that don't know who they are get on Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Ted Anderson's dad, and then he got his memory back. And so many old people that have skin falling off, and then they don't eat any fruits or vegetables, and they don't, and they've got scurvy. I mean, they won't even tell you in the hospital that they've ever had a case of scurvy in the United States, even though it's rampant.
Simple vitamin C deficiency, simple vitamin C, rickets, a simple vitamin D deficiency, right? Dr. Wallach was giving a lecture a couple of weeks ago in Los Angeles. 350 people were scheduled to attend. 1,100 showed up. I mean, they had the fire marshal came and they had to move half of the crowd outside onto the lawn. Why is this? Because there were 400 people in a suburb of Los Angeles who recovered from type 2 diabetes with medical nutrition. And that word spreads. Folks, the stuff that we need to know about the relationship between the human body and nutrition, that stuff that we need to know is so far outside of most people's reference ranges that, man, they didn't even know they didn't know that.
By the way, let me ask you this question, because I hope Dell's Children's Center here in Austin over the winter got filled with children, including little kids that I know personally from good families that eat organic food, and they would all get a virus and get pancreatitis, basically. And then they would tell them, no, you're just type 1 diabetes, it's genetic. And they were ages 2 to 5 or 6. It was a pandemic. And even the hospital was admitting, no, they get a virus, then they get it, but it's genetic. Well, how do you get a virus that causes pancreatitis, which I then went and talked to some medical doctors, and they said, no, it probably can be reversed a lot of the time, but we're just being told to just make them a diabetic for life, say it's genetic. And then I talked to all these parents. I mean, something weird is going on here because, I mean, here's an example. They know that iodine is needed by the body. They used to make people put it in the salt till the 60s. And then now the government puts all these bad halogens, the bromine, the bromides in the food.
To get rid of iodine.
And then I finally got on Real True Nascent Iodine that we promote, Survival Shield X2. One element in the last year has literally changed my life. Now, that's at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsHealth.com, the Beyond Tangerine 2.0, it's got 90 things in it when the government's only saying you need a few. And it's been life-changing for myself and so many people. That's how I started doing more research. But just specifically, what's going on, before we get into iodine briefly, because I don't know what you're going to say, but I know I respect your view. I want to find out why it's helped me so much and why they don't want people to know about this. But do you have any word on the diabetes and what's happening there? I mean, it's epidemic. They're saying half the public by 2025 will have type 2, and then suddenly viruses are causing kids to get type 1?
Well, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance here, right? Because if a disease is truly genetic, it can't be modified. I mean, the color of your eyes is genetic. Your sex is genetic. I mean, you could go to Sweden for a sex change operation, but, you can't affect a genetic illness in any way, shape, or form. So if you can modify the presentation of an illness like type 2 diabetes or Alzheimer's with diet and lifestyle, then by definition, it's not genetic. But because of lack of information here, lack of education, people just don't understand this. 1957, Dr. Walter Mertz, an MD, published a study that proved that the mineral chromium was related to, a deficiency in chromium was related to type 2 diabetes. Research after that showed another mineral, vanadium, necessary for proper blood sugar metabolism. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, over 90% of the soil in the United States is deficient in chromium.
Exactly.
And guess what? You run out of chromium, you develop type 2 diabetes. You put chromium back into the body, your body optimizes its structure, its ability to process blood sugar. And you know what? It gets even worse, Alex, because according to the Food and Drug Administration, the only thing that can cure a disease is a drug. So as a licensed physician, if I had 100,000 patients with type 2 diabetes, definitive diagnosis, and they get on board a medical nutrition program, no more type 2 diabetes, I would not be able to say that I cured it. And if I was able to prove it, that I cured it, the pharmaceutical industry would make the nutritional supplement that I used a drug. And this is a gigantic problem. This is why we need to educate people about the stuff that they can do.
There's elementary. They're saying
healthy packs that'll change your life, for goodness sake.
They're saying artificial stuff is the only thing that can help you, that blocks the symptoms or manipulates something else in your body.
That's correct.
And I know people that are on different serotonin reuptake inhibitors like Paxil that has caused them to get cancer, that has caused them to get vitiligo, where your skin turns white. And then the doctor tells them, no, your Paxil did this. I mean, it's just so crazy. But let me ask you specifically, Survival Shield X2 that I developed, doing research with Dr. Group, this is from the actual crystals. And what it's done to me has just been off the charts, the energy, the clarity, all of it. And I know everybody's talking about how important this is, but how is one thing like iodine, what's your view on iodine?
Well, iodine is an essential nutrient in the human body. It's an essential nutrient. And, without iodine, certain metabolic functions cannot happen. It's kind of like if your car runs out of engine oil, well, guess what? The engine's going to seize up, and that's not good. Well, if your car runs out of brake fluid, something else is going to happen. If the car runs out of air in the tires, something else is going to happen. Iodine is necessary for thyroid function specifically. Thyroid is one of the master glands in the body. Thyroid metabolism is associated with virtually every single solitary metabolic system in the body. And if your thyroid is not functioning properly, nothing's going to be functioning properly. And in order for your thyroid to function properly, guess what? It needs iodine. It also needs selenium. Selenium and iodine, mandatory for proper thyroid function. And guess what? If your car runs out of oil, the engine seizes. Well, if your thyroid runs out of iodine, your entire body seizes.
And so they put in the water and the food, the bad halogen that blocks, even if you have it, it can't get in there. And so, again, that's one thing that's been life-changing for me, and you've heard the rave reviews. Imagine Beyond Tangy Tangerine Organic, non-GMO 2.0 from InfoWarsHealth.com, and you're funding the tip of the spear in the InfoWar, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, I want to talk about what is in Beyond Tangy Tangerine with certified organic whole foods. I mean, it's got everything in it. Boom. Couple scoops a day in water. Life-changing. Life-changing, ladies and gentlemen. And this is revolution against the globalists. They have jacked with our food, our water on purpose, and do not want us to have access to it. So you can fund the InfoWar while getting a super high-quality product for you and your family. Just take the challenge at InfoWarsHealth.com or InfoWarsTeam.com. Try some of the products, and you'll be amazed. The news is just getting crazier and crazier by the minute, and we'll be covering it on the Nightly News tonight, 7 o'clock Central. And, of course, back tomorrow, Lord willing, live 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central with the daytime radio show / TV. The articles up on Infowars.com are, again, pretty amazing. All the different things that are unfolding and taking place right now. Brazen smugglers threaten journalists while operating in broad daylight. And we've got our reporters, Don Salazar and others down there on the border right now investigating all of this. It is just wide open with their boats and the rest of it. Again, pervert gets his kicks by dressing up as a TSA screener and groping women at San Francisco airport. Victims didn't even realize that it was a drunk man, was an imposter. They've got a report out today that Rupert Murdoch, the deal of a lifetime, goes big for Time Warner, looking at buying it. The exec dropped the bombshell over lunch. Also, we've got other reports. The military could use brain scanners to predict enemies' thoughts, but they can't find out why diabetes is exploding. And now Al-Qaeda magazine, Inspire, suggests attack on U.S. Open. Yes, after being given all those Stinger missiles, I bet. And Edward Snowden says the NSA employees pass around nude photos of people they're spying on. Yeah, that's come out before. Dr. Peter Glidden, in closing on the time we have here today, it really is incredible what proper nutrition can do. And as you said, even if you're eating organic, almost all of it is in soils that have been depleted because we're not using potash and things anymore. And it's really so simple. It's a huge piece of the puzzle. And the word is spreading about it. And I think as things get worse and worse, it's going to force people to go out and do the research that it takes to begin to get out of this mainline medical model, especially as MD Healthcare, which has got a lot of good people in it, goes eugenics, where now the doctors have no say, and it's all pre-programmed by the federal computers. I mean, that's why so many medical doctors, up to a third of them, are quitting right now, including my dad. Is because he's a doctor of oral surgery and of dental medicine. And for the folks who don't know, that's in the MD category. But across the board, they're leaving in an exodus because a bad system's being wrecked even worse.
Things are bad, Alex, all over, but we have solutions that have been developed and delivered by licensed physicians trained in medical nutrition. Dr. Wallach's done all the heavy lifting. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com, check out the shopping cart, and get on board with an appropriate Healthy Start pack. We have healthy packs for bone support, healthy packs for digestive support, healthy packs for brain and heart pack. It's necessary to feed your body the stuff it needs to fix itself. You have no idea what you're missing. And if you get my book for free, it'll tell you how to do it and why.
Absolutely. And if you want to order or have any questions about InfoWarsHealth.com or InfoWarsTeam.com, 888-789-9277, 888-789-9277. And you don't just get high-quality products. I want to thank everybody out there who's checked into it and enjoyed it and the rave reviews. But you also, again, support the very tip of the spear in the InfoWar, 888-789-9277. Customer service, 888-636-9277. Or InfoWarsHealth.com for the longevity products. InfoWarsTeam.com is a mirror site, but also geared towards if you want a business opportunity to be a distributor in your business or your area or your medical office, you name it. This is something that everybody can carry and support, building our own economy of liberty, shopping with the good guys. This is how we're doing it. Thank you so much, Dr. Glidden.
Visit GCNlive.com.
All right, folks.
Today.
Retransmission starts now at InfoWars.com. Support our local affiliates.